I'm Shanti, everybody. So welcome to tonight's chit chat. So living without anger and fear. So usually a lot of anger and fear, because human beings have been shaped by reacting, defending, protecting, and carrying old wounds. So all these things are like clothes in our wardrobe, which we've been talking about over the last few weeks. But I can really tell you that technique of the wardrobe as we clean out our clothes. There's some amazing clothes come up even during my sleep in the night, So the mind will bring up something and you'll say, "My goodness, I've still got to let that one go." So, but then you have to recognize it first before it goes. So whatever the mind brings up in the way of fear or anger or many different types of things, of course. And you could say, wow, I wasn't even aware that that was still in the wardrobe, but it's sitting there just humming away. So might have a whole lot of insects on it, I don't know. But anyway, so that's what the mind does. And fear and anger are not your enemies either. They are there that were protecting us, during our livelihoods. So it's not that everything's bad and I've still got a bit of this and a bit of that. No, it's just that when I get to see it and I have that understanding it or that thinking, wow, look at that. So you're inquisitive. That's that word we've been using. Inquisitive. Always be inquisitive about what the mind is showing you, what you have. This is still in your wardrobe and it's going, hey, do we still need to wear that one? It's like your mind is like your little child that's beside you, not little, but, sort of growing up a bit, but it's saying, well, mummy or daddy, look at those smelly old clothes over there. Do we still need those? That's what the mind is doing. It's just pulling these clothes up that you used to wear and it used to fit you because of that old lifestyle. But how are you living today? Does those clothes still fit you? That means what thoughts that's going on in your mind and what was that emotions and all those feelings? Because that comes from that time then. So it might not be long ago, actually. It could be only just a few years ago. But whatever it is, it's come up. So the mind, your little child has brought it to your focus. And then you say to your field, which is your human and your new light body and the soul and the I am, all these well, not the I am so much. The I am is not in your field. That's your eternal pure self. But usually the human, your new light body, and the soul. And now the mind is also in your field. So you bring it up. So the mind has found it, brought it up, and you say to the field, hey, field, I don't think that suits us now having this type of clothing. What do you think? Which is your thoughts and that disturbance that you had at that time or whatever it was. And the field might say, no, I don't think that would suit us now. So then you decide, okay, let's just leave it. Let's just let it go and give it to the soul to wisdomize. You don't try and conquer it. You don't try and beat it up and chuck it out. I've tried all that. It doesn't work. So they come back stronger and they love a good fight. So what it is that when they become your friends, like all the vices becomes your friends so that you can have the wisdom and you see through that wisdom. So we've got lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego, laziness, fear, and there's probably another zillion. But the whole thing, every one of those is not your enemy. They are your part. They make your soul can make that into your wisdom. So it'll tell you when not to use it. So something might come up. Maybe you might have got angry, you think you know everything and tell people what to do, but it's not like that. So when that same scene comes again, you say, oh, well, there's that scene. Now I'm not, that energy's not there anymore. So now it's my wisdom. So you can say, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm past that now. That's something we've wisdomized. So any situation can come and test us at any time. But that's the importance of understanding the wardrobe of my mind. This is such an important to understand that I've got to sort out my wardrobe of my mind and and that's part of my samskaras and the intellect, all the wisdom is there. So when you leave the body, you won't have any fears, you know. You won't have to fear a single thing because we're brought up. Probably the biggest fear is indoctrination from scriptures and religions, all these things. People fear dying because, my God, I haven't followed all those rules and regulations. I'm probably going to get a real hard time by God on the other side. He's going to punish me with a big stick or whatever he's going to do to punish me, to send me down to eternal damnation, burn in the fire. And all these scriptures have been written like that. Understanding the law of karma, how bad that is, but it's not. Once you understand the law of karma and you clean it, you don't need karma anymore. Once you understand the law of karma and you have yourself in your own sovereignty, you're the master of oneself. So your light body is there. So it's emerging. That's why we're a little bit out of whack at the moment. So because our light body is starting to manifest in front of us. So it will become part of our new way of living because we won't have the old nitron body, which was all the chakras and everything like that. But eventually that will disappear. And the new light body is just like every single cell in your whole body is linked to every other cell. So you don't have to wait for, you might have hit your head, but it takes a week to get down to your toe. So so all these things, because it's not that important, your toe compared to your head, you see. So, and it's a communication. That's how it used to be. But now, whatever the hair on the top of your head, well, somewhere around here, there's a hair, and it's whatever it's doing, then my toe, every cell in my toe will know at the same time. So whatever happens. So, and that's the beauty of understanding that the importance of this wardrobe is that you've never done anything wrong. You've never done anything right. You cannot go in there thinking, oh, I've been so bad. In the last 63 births, I've had 63 really bad births, but it's not like that at all. It's just experiences. Every birth is an experience, and everything you've done in that birth is just an experience. No right, no wrong. So, but once you have knowledge, then that karma would come into effect then, because if you've been, excuse me, running around killing a few people, then of course it's your turn to get killed soon after sometime. So then that's called the law of cause and effect. But now we understand this is the time right now. We're in the actual middle of the transformation right now. That Bubba's been talking about, the confluence age is ending. You're not trying to change people now. You can only change yourself. It doesn't matter what you try and do. People just can't comprehend anything. It's only you who can comprehend for yourself. The only person in your life is you. I know we want all sorts of relationships and headaches and people energy feeders and all sorts of things. But the thing is, we have got to become whatever we want to become. If you don't want to become that, that's cool. There's no right and no wrong. You don't have to do, especially anything I tell you, but just do what you feel is right. That's the main thing. Because you are the only one that counts. No one else. You might have children and grandchildren and all sorts of children, but every one of those children are their own selves. They are souls who've come onto this earth. And even if they've taken birth into a family that's violent, horribly violent, maybe they get beaten up every night, who knows? So, but they've taken birth there for a reason. No one has taken a wrong birth anywhere. Usually people that are quite spiritual or so-called spiritual, whatever that means, is usually born in a family. Sometimes it's a bit rough. So that's where you progress from, you see. So you don't progress from everything sweet and lovely and smelling flowers. Generally, you'll see that most people that are real good spiritual leaders in their life, they have taken a really rotten birth as a baby or something. I've seen so many of them. They tell these stories of their growing up. Oh my God. My birth wasn't so bad after all. We don't there's lots of things in life. You took birth there for a reason, so maybe for your protection. So who knows? Only you know that. So, and you don't ask anyone else. You have all the answers that you need. Got that? So you have all the answers that you need. And that's once we have that feeling that I am an enlightened master, and Baba tells us all the time, how many murlis do you have to read to become an enlightened being? One or two, do you think? Or 300 or 5,000 or 700 years, or how long is it going to take? Once you understand I'm an enlightened being, you are. You won't depend on anyone else. You'll become independent. And that's what Baba wants us to be. And we see the future, and we're not that we're looking too far in the future, but the future is in the next hour or two. But you are living in the now. That's what that commentary I played just before was, living in the here and now, not in the future, not in the past, but in the presence of now. And that's our only protection. So, and when the mind brings up into your when you realize what the mind's bringing up, then it's saying, "Hey, you've still got this clothes hanging in your wardrobe," and you look at it and you think, "Wow, that's a goodie." So, but then you say, "Oh, that's pretty interesting." You don't get fear of it. It doesn't matter how. There's no bad, no right and no wrong. It's brought it up. You're looking at it and you go, "Wow, that's pretty incredible. I've still got that. That's really amazing. Do we need it now?" So you ask your field. So you're not the only one. So you realize it, you see it, and then you ask your field, "Oh, do we still need that? That's old clothes from the old way of living. We don't live that way anymore. So do you think we need it?" Says, "Oh no, let's give it to the soul to wisdomize. So that will become your wisdom. You're not chucking anything out, burning it, conquering it, murdering it, whatever you have to do. You're not doing any of that. I don't worry, I've tried all of those things, but what it is just accepting, oh well, that's what's happened. And that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So then you talk to the mind and intellect and soul and just say, "Hey, you feel, what do you think, feel? Do we still need these old clothes?" And you just let it go. So, and probably the biggest fear people have is the indoctrination of fear, like heaven and hell, and oh, I did this bad thing to my mother and my father, or whatever, my brother, my sister, whoever, who cares? But you've done this bad thing to your neighbor. So the whole thing is, it's like that is something that was there for a reason. That mean you took birth to do that probably, and they had to experience it because maybe they did that to you in a previous birth. Now it's your turn to let them experience it, and they have to experience everything they give sorrow to. But that's all part of that old way of learning. But now when we actually start to feel that I am a self-sovereign, and once you say I am, you are. You don't have to think, now I've got to do 25, 21 days of solid 10 hours a day, Buddy, to become a self-sovereign. No, you'll never become a self-sovereign that way. The only way that you can become a self-sovereign is agree to it. Allow yourself to be it. That's what I said. You already are. Whatever you were as in the first half of the cycle, you already are that. That's already in your soul. You don't have to go looking for it. It's already there. And everything in the second half is there as well. But we don't have to worry about that. That's every birth we've ever had. We've had, say, maybe 83, 84, or 80, who knows. But whatever birth we've had, they they do their own self-realization each birth. So you don't have to worry about all your births. They're busy doing their lot, and some births are very simple, so they don't have much to do because we have some pretty good births. So there's not much to go on theirs, but the whole thing is there's still experiences. So some births we might have had a war somewhere, an arrow in the front, an arrow in the back, whatever, had your head chopped off, whatever happened to you. But that's just an experience. How to die. I've died this way, that way, jumped off buildings, pushed over cliffs, whatever's happened. They are only experiences. So And I've experienced a few deaths, like I experienced once in a boat that I was in. It was on fire, so I managed to escape, but I managed to get hold of a dinghy, or which, like a lifeboat, but it had no oars in it. And the boat was washed up against the cliff, and of course I got smashed up against there, and I just drowned it. But I could see myself drifting out of that body, just looking at it, and the body's just lying there in the weeds, and I just went off to my next birth. So easy. There's no big deal. It's just interesting. But I didn't experience the experience before that. But I think when the soul knows the body's going to die, I think it goes before it actually dies. So because I could see myself outside the body, drifting up and ready wherever I was going to go to next. I didn't see where I actually went, but when you have that fear of heaven and hell, whatever it is in your fear mind, then that's where you're going to go. First, that's where you'll go because you've already built that. You are the one who builds, you're the creator. So we build for ourselves whatever we experience after death. If you believe you're going to meet Baba, then you'll meet Baba. If you believe you're going to a more beautiful place, then that's where you'll go. So it's all about your belief systems that's been inside you for many, many births. But the main thing, we don't have to worry about those. That's the old clothes that the soul is also wisdomizing many, many of our past births. We don't have to worry about because that's the soul's role. Our main aim is just to worry about the now. In the very now, we allow ourselves to be present. So you're right here now. You're not in the past, you're not in the future. You're just allowing yourself to be that beautiful self-sovereign. And you have to go looking for it. You are it. If you don't believe it, that's cool. That's up to you. You don't have to believe it. It doesn't mean you have to eat certain types of food and do certain things to be a living master. It's got nothing to do with it, food and drink. Well, I suppose you're down at the pub every night drinking and smoking, maybe you might not be a master, but here we know through our wisdom. A master has wisdom and he will know what is right, or she will know. But as we talk, the master is the soul. And the master is called one who's living in a body. So we're an embodied master at this point. So we have the body and we have that light body, which is the wisdom of all my past births. So that's what's keeping us a little bit awake at night, and it's migrating back into a new body, a new mind. So we've been upgraded. That's why we've been a little bit whacked over the last few years, and even more so now because it's really coming to a peak now. So in the next year or two, you'll see a huge transformation of those who are ready for it. So, and if you don't want to, the thing is, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. I mean, who cares? It's got nothing to do with anyone else. You have to do what you want to do. I mean, I'm only giving my experiences of what I've been going through, that's all. I'm not giving any teachings. I'm only giving my experience. And maybe you might want to experience it yourself. It's up to you. And it's about first, now it's just accepting me. I'm more than my physical body. It's one of the great teachings that we teach, isn't it? I'm not just the physical, but without the physical, I can't experience things on this physical world. But I'm more than that. I'm many, many multi-dimensional being. So I'm being so many dimensions. Where do you think you go at night when you go to sleep? And what happens these days? You go to sleep and 2 hours later you're awake. It doesn't matter how tired you are when you go to bed, you lie down and, oh, I'm so tired, but then you can't sleep. So suddenly you become awake. Or you sleep for 2 hours, then you're wide awake. And not to worry, because that's what's happening at the moment, because you go into different dream consciousnesses. So you go, and that's the first stage. Then you get up and then you're wide awake. And so you might as well get up, make a cup of tea, read a book or read a Murley or something, or just do something that's a bit more creative. And then when you're ready, just go back to bed. And because you only need like 4 or 5 hours rest in a night, or good sleep. And the next dream cycle that you go into, so when you go back to bed, you go into another dream cycle, will take you into a different type of dreaming. And then the last one is only for about an hour. That when you wake up, you'll go back in again for the third dream cycle. And so that dream cycle is like collecting all the dreams you've had that night and putting it back. But usually the mind is so mixed up, it doesn't know what all that means because it can't do that. The mind is trapped in the physical, you see. But we're going beyond the physical. So that's what the new enlightened being is, the master being. So the new enlightened master. So that's what's doing. We're not trapped only in this physical world. So once we can get used to that, so every night we leave the body. So when someone dies, what's the big deal? He's just gone on. He's not coming back tonight. That's all. So and I can remember when my mother was in the home, she says, "Oh, they come and collect me on the train, and they take everything with me, and I go on the train, and they take me all over, and let me see all sorts of things, and then they drop me off in the morning." And about a few months later, I went back and says, "How's your train trips going?" She said, "Oh, I'm not having those anymore." She said, "Because the train driver said next time I'm picking you up, we're going for good. You're not coming back." So she never got on that train again. So anyway, so it just shows you she had that fear that was there, you see. So, but still, it just shows you like we don't understand or comprehend something, and that's where the wisdom comes in. So, and allowing yourself to be you, it's all about you. So, and and it's not such a sad or a bad thing. It should be bring great joy and happiness to be at this time now. There's no greater time than this time now on this earth than has ever been in all universes, everywhere. We're all being looked at because there's no greater being than the human being. Just think, because we have discovered love, but we can give love when we're in sorrow. We can give love when we're angry. It's never been able to experience, like most of the different dimensions can't even experience love, but the human, while we're here, that's what we're discovering. And that's what a human being is on this earth for, to discover love and be able to give love no matter what the condition is. Like someone could have cancer and is about to die, but everyone goes along and they love each other, I mean, that's for everyone outside this dimension, it's just a wonder. They go, wow, that's incredible, how is that possible, So they're suffering so much and still they have love for each other, So it's such a powerful tool, So if you say you're milking a cow, you know, it's like love, just ordinary love is like that's like ordinary milk. But the best of the best milk, the top milk, you could say the cream, that's the love that's been created while we're in pain and suffering, So that's what we've learned to do, and it's unheard of in the rest of the cosmos, Only here on Earth, in this pain world, where we've lost our minds and we've taken it off us, and to discover that's one of the greatest things ever discovered in the universe, ever. And that's why all the universes are watching Earth at this moment. So you're all great heroes. So don't worry. If that scares you, don't worry about it because it's beautiful, when you understand how great you are, and that's the thing. For us to feel who we should be feeling like, great divine beings, it's like that's who we actually are. But because we've been so indoctrinated by, oh, you're born dirty, you're always sinful soul, for many births you've been rotten from the ears down. But it's nothing like that at all. We've only been having experiences, experience after experience after experience. No right, no wrong. Some are having lots of fun and some are maybe at war or whatever. So the whole thing is it's like through many, many lives. Sometimes we were married, some were male, sometimes female, uncles, aunties, children. We've been everything. You name it, we've been it. We haven't been a cat or a dog or anything or a goat, nothing like that. We've always been a human being. That's who we are. We're human souls playing a role through the human body. And the human body has a mind. And the mind we always wanted a protection from the mind. So we're given the job to the mind to protect us. And that's where fear and anger come in, because we need fear and anger to protect us. It's like it was there created by us to protect us. So fear and anger is now, same with our body, the human becomes our friend. But this friend is going to die. That's the only thing, is this friend. But in the meantime, we're still our best friend. So we know it's only temporary, but it's still our best friend. We learn everything through our best friend, and the mind now has become our best friend as well, because it's showing us, hey, you guys, hey, you, look at this clothes, or look at these shoes and earrings you got tucked away in the back here. Do you really need those now? Say, oh no, that's the old type of personality we had. We don't need those now, so we just give them to the soul to wisdomize. So we can. It's such a beautiful thing, and as you get rid of your clothes, you'll feel lighter, lighter, and that's where true freedom comes. And the only clothes you need to have is the clothes you like to wear. You're going to get dressed up how you want to get dressed up. You don't have to please anybody. You're not going to heal anybody. You can't even heal yourself. The soul, the body heals itself. The more we understand that, then the less tablets we'll have to take and buy. I have the habit of buying things. I don't know. I think I must be half asleep. Sometimes you wake up and there it is. But I'm trying to break that habit. That's one of the things. The mind goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you say, "Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't need those," because the body can heal itself. It does everything. But because we think we need to heal the body, it's fat, it's overweight, it's whatever. It's sick, it's achy, it's whatever. The whole thing is, and the body says, "How are you going? Have you fixed me yet?" And so, because we think we have to fix everything because we've been programmed that way, but now you have to unprogram ourselves, because everything is energy. Everything you eat is energy. And just think, when Einstein was watching his experiments of consciousness, when he watched when those particles were going through the experiment, when someone was observing it, they would change. They would become something else. But no one was observing. It would just go on through, as a particle would just continue through. So we're the same. We have food, we observe it, it becomes pure energy. So it's all energy, but we observe it, then it'll become good for the body. And that's why Baba said, give food drishti before you eat it. You can see why. That's a really good technique, isn't it? So first you see the food. Oh yeah, that's right. Give it drishti. Where it's water, give it drishti, and everything will be good. You see, you don't, and it's not that it's going to heal you or anything. You don't think, oh, that'll heal me. I think it's just energy. You're having that for food for the human, and the human will take over from there. You don't have to think, hey, human, what are you doing? What'd you do with that big potato I just ate? Are you using it right? You don't think like that, is it? It's in your tummy and it does its job. Whatever it's going to do, it'll be doing. So you don't have to think, will this food make me whatever? You just think, you give it drishti and believe this is good for me. So it's just energy, and I'm giving energy through my eyes, changing the food, and it becomes energy for the body. So many things we learnt, but not many things we practice. So these are the things we just need to put into practice to help to clean our wardrobe. Because the wardrobe is the mind, which is part of the human. You see, the human has the mind, so they're connected. So the human mind. So we have like the soul mind as well, and the soul intellect and the human intellect. So they're like on the gross form. So like if you have a lot of very good intellect, you can remember and become maybe a doctor, a lawyer, Indian chief, whatever. So you can pass a lot of exams and do things. But the intellect of the soul is different. It's an eternal thing. It's like things that are like on an unlimited scale. So it's not concerned about whether you pass your PhD or not. It doesn't care. It's just an experience. And what we're doing here is the mind is protecting us. And now the mind is our friend. So it's showing us, hey, look at this. You've got these old buckles and belts and ties and things, whatever is in there. You say, "Do you need those?" No. Well, let's clean out the wardrobe because that might have been some old snake and some old past birth. Who cares? But whatever it is, we were going to say, no, we don't need those things. So because I have a different consciousness now and I have a different lifestyle, so therefore those things I don't need. No big deal. But don't be, if anything comes up that's really fearsome, it might look like a big demon or a devil. It's just you who created it. It's not, it's just you. It's not going to hurt you, but if you want it to, it can. So you just see it and you say, "Oh, wow, you're amazing." It won't have any energy then. It'll be just become your friend. You say, "Oh, I don't need you anymore." So you can now leave, So you're free to go, and I'm going to put my soul to take you and wisdomize you. Just think how many things we've created, even in the daytime, even today. What was your mind doing? Was it creating more aspects of you, to do this and do that? And you're thinking, thinking, thinking. That means you're creating, you see. When you're thinking, you're creating. And so maybe you're thinking, oh, I've got to go shopping, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So therefore you're creating this big list that's there and you need to do this, that, and the next thing. So it's a whole creation. And that's you're given energy to. So therefore it's taking your energy, you see. But if you become just in the presence, so in soul presence, you're just in your presence, whatever needs to be done will be done. So you don't have to think, will it be done or not? It will be done because it has that presence of time, and that means everything will be in order. So when you're in soul presence, everything is in order. So it is great harmony. So and you don't have to look after and chase it. What is harmony? What is this? Number one, number two, number three, number four. There's nothing of that. Just let yourself be free. Forget all the lists. Stop creating lists. So, because lists don't help us, that's once again, that's back into the mind and into the human intellect. We want to free ourselves from all of those things. So it's just something that you decide what you want to do. If you don't want to do it, that's cool. If you do it, that's cool. So it's all about you. Whatever you do, you're doing for yourself. If you're waiting on anybody else, forget it. They'll never come with you. So I'll wait till you've finished your job and when we're both retired, then we'll do this, You both might be dead by then. So the whole thing is that if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. Now means now. It means, oh, okay. That means I'm just going to allow myself to be an enlightened master in this body. That's what you are. Don't doubt it. That's who you are and what you are. See? Because doubt is probably one of the biggest diseases that stops us from achieving anything, So when you doubt things, so you just have to be. I am that I am. And that's the creator. I am the creator of everything I've had in my life. I am the creator of everything I'm going to have forever, So all the possibilities, potentials, everything is done by I am the creator. And this is eternally pure. It's our true, pure, eternal self, not the soul. Soul can become corrupted, and my Bible tells us it can be rotten from the ears down, sort of thing. But the whole thing is, whatever we do in our experiences, that's what the soul is creating. But now the soul is wisdomizing everything, so it's making everything into our wisdom. But still, it's not the I am. That's the wisdom. The I am has created the soul. So through energy, see, when the I am says, "Oh, I'm alive. I realize I am. I'm aware." Then it created from that energy came the soul, which is light. So and it communicates with the soul through energy. So energy means communication, isn't it? So in every form, even today, without energy, then there's no communication. So. And you can see if you're in a bad consciousness and you're trying to communicate with somebody, it doesn't work. Ask Mr. Ran and ask Mr. America, they'll tell you. So there's no communication amidst all these other countries that are trying to communicate because they're all different dimensions. So that, I mean, they're all on a different radiations. You know, they're different violence. The violence is there, but their awareness isn't there. So they're not on the same dimension. So that's why they can't agree because they're always looking. Their frequencies are different. You know, like our frequency is what we've created now. Whatever I am, it's my frequency. Your frequency is your frequency. It might be similar to mine. We don't know. So, but the thing we do know, but I mean, because we wouldn't be here listening, would we? So we wouldn't be together. We wouldn't be at the center. So the whole thing is our frequency is very similar. But if you go and have a chat with some people like in different religions, because they are being coded in that way, you know, whether you're a Christian or whether you're a Muslim or a Buddhist or whatever, you've been coded that way, you know, because that's what you believe, you know. But if you want to be free from that coding, then you have to make the effort of allowing yourself to become free. So that means the wisdom before you were coded can come through again, you know. So and there's you just have to accept that if I'm having a problem, then say, and I'm not having a problem. So you're having this problem, and A-N-D, I'm not having a problem. So then the soul can choose. Oh, I don't have to have a problem, so I'll choose not to have a problem. See, so that problem is there by itself, it'll disappear. So you can choose yes or no, you know. So you don't have to fight anything. Once you start fighting, fear and anger become bigger and bigger, isn't it? So, because we fear to be conquered, we fear to die, we fear to be alive, we fear in case our job's not going to be there. I fear I'm going to run out of money, fear I'm going to, you know, fear keeps on going. And anger comes from that. And so I should have not have spent all my money on that, but money's got nothing to do with survival. Consciousness does, and frequency does. If you want to survive in this world, then you need to have that consciousness and have the frequency. So when you're in soul presence, your frequency is perfectly in line with nature. And nature likes our frequency because it likes the light and the energy that we give. It's protecting, it's helping this earth to uplift itself. And you don't have to make any effort for that. Just be it. No big deal. So see how easy Raj Yoga is? It's not, actually, we probably don't teach all that in Raj Yoga so much, but that's what I've come to learn through it. You hear what Baba says a lot of times, but people don't hear it, you know. That's when sometimes I'm reading early, I try and push a point, you know, that says, look, do you think that would be right? Do you think God would do a thing like that or say a thing like that? And you got to remember, whenever we listen to knowledge, who are we listening to, you know? So we're so far removed from the reality of when that melody was first spoken. It's a totally different and completely different world, you know. Say, oh yeah, but it's eternal, it's truth, you know. Truth changes every day. Truth cannot be the same one day and the next. Truth is only truth to what you believe to be truth now, isn't it? So you believe today what truth is, and in a month's time you might not believe the same truth, you know. And that's through experience, through realizations, through experience. So, and when you realize, you think, oh yeah, sometimes you can even get a little bit angry because why did I believe such a stupid thing, you know? So, and that's how it is. It's not that it's right or wrong. It's just sometimes that what happens, you know. So don't fear anymore, but get into that wardrobe in the sense, go into your mind and allow the mind to show you what you need and allow the fear and allow all sorts of negative things to come because they're only showing you what you need to move. It's your creation. It's no one else. God didn't create it. Ravan didn't create it because there's no such thing. I am the Ravan. So I've created everything that I'm experiencing. So, and you don't have to be sad about it. And the fact that the more light and happy you are, then you can guarantee there'll be nothing negative much will ever come up and give you a hard time because you're in such a good state of consciousness, you see. So once the wardrobe is becoming clean and free from most things that we're aware of, because still the mind will pull something out of the wardrobe from underneath somewhere on a drawer or whatever that's shut. So the whole thing is we don't worry about that though. We just live in the presence and keep smiling and shining that beautiful light. Just take the breath and breathe. I've hardly breathed tonight. So, but the whole thing is, it's just breathe, because a lot of people forget to breathe. Yeah, when you breathe, you go back to the I am, and everything else just falls away. You feel that beautiful, soft, light energy just cleansing my mind and freeing everything that's not needed in the wardrobe. Even the ones I can't see, the mind's looking after those ones. You only have to do whatever the mind brings in front of you, then, because that's for you to see. Maybe it's something that you need to see to clear it properly. So don't worry, and it's no big deal. So easy, easy peasy. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath. We'll just have a little minute of silence just to finish off. And if anyone wants to ask a question, you're welcome. Shelley, so just remember, your love is the real beautiful milk from the cow. That's what the whole universe is looking for, that to drink your love. Okay, so I'm Shanti, everybody. Love you all.